What's up? This is Delio coming to you live once again. Just let you know I do have music out right now, and this just want to let you know to check out my original music right here on Spotify, Apple Music, all those platforms. Make sure you check that out and all that good stuff. This is a review of the Korg Monologue. I never took time to do a full review on this keyboard, and I think now is any good time to do the review on the keyboard. And just talk about what I like about it and what I don't like about it. This is the Korg Monologue. The Korg Monologue is a 4-voice analog synthesizer. 4 voices meaning that you can play 4 voices at the same time. All right, and that is so you can do chords like that, and it's basically a very easy synthesizer to use. I'll be the first to tell you, yes, it has a few battle scars on it, but one of the things that was interesting about this keyboard was that it was coming out during when we were kind of having a reemergence of analog keyboards. You know, Moog was coming back around with the Sub Fatty, and there wasn't a lot of inexpensive multi-voice analog keyboards. A lot of times when you're dealing with an analog keyboard, they're very expensive. I mean, you can look up right now. If you want 6 voices, 8 voices, 12 voices, except for Behringer will give you 12 voices for under $1,000. But if you look at the profits and the other brands, they're going to hit you. I mean, if you think about the Moog with their joint, I mean, it gets pretty expensive. But this is a cool synthesizer, and I was fascinated by it because now I was able to get more than one voice. So let's look over the panel right here and just kind of go over what's there. So you got the tempo right here. You can select your octave. Pitch bend up here. I wish they had a modulation, but they don't. This is your voice section right here. Now, this represents one voice except for the filter. The filter affects all 4 voices at the same time, so you don't get 4 individual filters right there. You get a delay block. You got your voice block. This is your mixer section right there that enables you to mix the voices between 1 and 2. And then you got your delay, and then you got this voice depth and shift functions in case you want to access some more functions on here. One of the nice functions I like to do is I hold shift and record, and what it does is retunes the oscillators. One thing I know about this is that when it gets warm, it goes out of tune and has to be retuned again. Thankfully, we got this Oled Display, which I thought was really cool to integrate it in this keyboard, which is interesting because I like it. I like this small display for this synthesizer, but I don't like it on the MPC Studio. I guess if I was sitting over the MPC Studio like this, I would enjoy it. However, we're going to start from scratch with this and sort of show off how this works. So we're going to go to edit mode. We're going to look for initialize program right there and then hit right. One thing to remember, if you run into a synthesizer, right typically means you want to save something to the keyboard. They don't just say save, they say right. And obviously you want to exit, you can exit there. It does have a 16-step sequencer, which I did not talk about, that you can record different steps on there. But we're going to go back to the basics. So we got this basic sawtooth. You got the triangle. You can change the octave up and down right there. Square. You can change the pitch of the square. And you can change the shape of it. So you got pulse width modulation right there. If I go to the triangle, folds it over. If I go to the sawtooth, it adds a fifth there. The same thing that can be done with the oscillator number 2. So if I turn up the volume on oscillator 2, you start to hear more effects right there. And then you can do and you can bring it down an octave. What I like to do is go into a monophonic mode because that's how most analog synthesizers work. You can bring down the octave down or do it here. And then you got cross step modulation, pitch, envelope. So you can make the envelope generator here affect the pitch if you want to. We're We're not going to do that right now. And then also we have noise in the mixer. Right? We now have the filter block. You got 4-pole, 2-pole. This one, 2-pole kind of lets a little bit more through the filter as far as sound is concerned, while 4-pole gives you more of a smooth thing. And you got key tracking there. This helps when you want the filter to open up more towards the high end side so that you can hear more of it, because if you leave the key tracking off, sounds can kind of disappear when the sound goes higher and the filter stays low. So let's listen to that filter. It's not a mogul ladder filter. That's a big deal to somebody. We can add some resonance. And you can see what the waveform is doing. That's one thing I really like about how responsive this is. Let's look at how the 4-pole sounds a little different, a little more smoother. And then we got our amplitude envelope generator, and you got your envelope generator. This typically works on a filter. You can tell it where to go by the switch right here. You can affect the pitch, shape, or cutoff. So let's see what happens if I apply the cutoff. This is probably one of my most favorite things to do. We notice that we don't hear anything yet because we have to turn up the envelope generator knob on here. If I turn that up some more, notice that the envelope filterator kind of does automation around there. But if I turn that off, and if I want to add a little decay, attack, release, that's how the amplitude envelope generator. If I go poly, you can hear this. And if you hear the notes coming off, that's because we're going over 4 voices, but sometimes you can hear separate envelopes on those separate voices, but sometimes you have to be careful. I think it only happens when you run out of voices, then it has to find another envelope generator. So then maybe there are 4 envelope generators. I'm quite sure somebody in the comments can let me know. What I liked about this keyboard, I like that you can chord and it's analog. And it's cool, it's playable, you know. Some depth there. And you do a little John. It's a good thing, but it's the downfall is that there's no effects on there. I guess that kept costs low. But you do have a delay block, but I don't like how it sounds. It just gets really noisy. Right. But let me show you some of these voices mode. Got chords there. Unison. Mono. And that's what I like about it. So this keyboard can really shine, but you do run into limitations with the sound design pretty quickly. But I just like that it's 4 voices All the knobs are in there. I don't use it so much often because I have so many plugins. I have so many everything. It's not a centerpiece synthesizer. It's not what I mainly use, but sometimes I want to get this out and just work within the limits and see how can I push the limits. I do run into them pretty quickly, but I mean, if you hook this up to like a reverb processor or some guitar pedals, you could probably get really creative with this thing. And I know I didn't show the sequencer, so I'm going to try and make a little sequence real quick by doing a step record. So if I play that back. See, I mean, you now some sequencers let you transpose the sequence. See, that's where I get happy right here. I make that really smooth. Now put a nice reverb behind that. So it does have power there, but again, it does have a little bit of limitations there, but I think it's a cool keyboard. I like it. Though if it's not conveniently located where I can work on it and really have it there to make noise, it will sit. So, you know, I think I can recommend it if you want to add to your synthesizer collection, but you do run into limitations quickly. But if you don't have a lot of stuff, this could be a great addition to your tool. If you can find it out there in the wild, it's definitely a good synthesizer to have fun with. So that's my review of the Korg Monologue. I hope you liked it. If you like this type of content, let me know in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.